Hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday, you guys. I'm so glad you're all here. Thank you so much. And if you liked that intro, you might want to stick around for the end of the show because I got a little something for you, a little something I've been working on that I want y'all to check out and let me know what you think. How is everybody tonight? So glad you guys are all here. So glad. I have wanted to go live about Gypsy and her pregnancy announcement for like a hot minute, but when I think about going live and talking about this, I want to be very, very careful. Okay. And I'll tell you why. I want to be careful because I think you guys all know how I feel about Gypsy, right? And if you don't, I'll just say this very briefly. While I recognize the things that Gypsy went through as a child, I also recognize that she is now 33 years old and that at some point you need to take accountability and decide to stop the cycle. And the more I've watched her, the less hope I have. And here's why. When she initially was paroled, I thought, okay, here is an opportunity that most people don't get. It isn't that most people don't get paroled, okay? It is that when most people get paroled, they don't have a boatload of money waiting for them when they get out, okay? They have to figure out all of the things. They've got to, have a stable place to stay. They've got to figure out money. They've got to get jobs. And having a job as a felon, especially certain felonies, makes it very difficult for somebody newly coming out of prison to go straight. It's not an easy thing. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to just sit back and I'm going to watch. I'm going to work on the documentary. I'm going to put the things out that, I think tell the story as completely as I can. If I were to tell every single detail of the story, the documentary would be in 87 parts and take 7 years. That would be ridiculous. But I will always tell you guys, this from the first 2 parts. I'll tell you, this is where I got this information from. So you can go look at it yourself and you can decide, right? Okay. So I waited and I was cautiously optimistic because it didn't really matter to me that she got married while she was in prison. It didn't really matter to me whether her marriage was successful or not. Like I don't have a dog in that fight. I don't want bad for anybody. So, I was just like, okay, well, let's just wait and see. As time went on and the hijinks and the shenanigans began and continued, and it's not, and they escalated throughout this time from her being paroled in December of 2023, and we're into July of 2024, everything has escalated. And I don't really like what I'm seeing because I don't see her taking any real accountability and doing anything to better herself. And the interviews that I watch, particularly, and if you guys aren't subscribed to my Patreon, I would really encourage you to do so. And here's why. I'm doing a lot of stuff over there. I have this Wednesday is the first episode of the West Memphis 3. I'm going to read Terry Hobbs' book, each chapter a week, and we're going to discuss it because I've never read it. And I feel like if I read it with you guys and get your feedback, I feel like I'll be more apt to read it. I wanted to read it, but I'm also very hesitant to read it. So, also on Saturdays, we go over the newest episode from Life After Lockup, which gives you, or gave me anyway, some confirmation of stuff that I heard before these episodes aired. I'm talking about heard stuff when they were filming. So before any episode was out at all, before any of this stuff was in the media, any of that. There's a lot of stuff that I've heard. And some of it, most of it that I've heard is 100% has been true. But anyway, but I'm freer over there to discuss it than I feel like I can be on YouTube. So, if you are not a member over there, I only have one tier. It's $5 a month. I'm going to do more stuff over there, but for now I'm committed to Wednesdays and Saturdays. I'm trying to squeeze in a day to do The Real Housewives of Orange County, because if you watch that show, it's going to be super messy. This whole season going to be messy, messy, messy. And y'all know I love messy. All right, now back to the task at hand. I'm not going to get off topic. So as I watched things in particularly how Gypsy conducted herself on her own social media. It's one thing to do an interview and it's recorded and then it's edited, and you don't really have say in how it's edited or the final product, right? So you have to, I cut Gypsy a little bit of slack when it comes to those kinds of things because of the way it goes. But I've watched her on her own social media. I watched how she has thrown this new relationship in Ryan's face. I don't begrudge anybody's happiness, okay? However, when you leave your husband, and so, look, sometimes it just doesn't work out, all right? Sometimes it's like that. But when you leave your husband, the last thing that I think anybody would do, especially when they talk about respect, Gypsy, is to be up in front of every camera everywhere all the days, getting your, picture taken while you're, canoodling with your new old boyfriend, which I find that to be weird too. I have been, I don't have anything personally against Ken. I don't know that man, but I have said this before and I will say it again. In my opinion, when you get back with an ex, it's a lot like taking a shower and putting on dirty underwear. It's wrong and you're not going to feel right the rest of the day. Don't do it. Particularly when there's no change. It isn't like they had some, come to Jesus. She got out of prison. She got on her feet. She worked on herself. She was a strong, independent woman, all of those things, right? No, she didn't do that. She bounced from one relationship to the next. Let me take a moment to thank Neat Noodle for gifting a membership. Thanks, babe. If you are the recipient of the membership, please thank Neat Noodle. And Tess Mac, thank you, babe, for being a member for 14 months. If y'all missed it, Tess's birthday was yesterday. Please wish Tess a happy birthday. I didn't sing to her. I'll do that momentarily. And thank you, Music City Mom, for being a member for 12 months. I will sing happy birthday to Tess at the end of the show so that anybody that's watching on the replay, if you don't want to watch it, you can just skip it. And there we go. And I won't have any negative comments about that in my comment section. So I'll wait to the end. Now, Becky says, back that truck up. First, she claims she was making a sound decision marrying Ryan, blah, blah, blah. Then quickly realized, despite the world saying it was a bad decision. Exactly. I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I think the situation with Ryan was. I think that when Gypsy when Ken and Gypsy broke up, she wasn't over him. He, in my opinion, I can only relate it this way. To me, Ken is the new Dan. She was fixated on Dan back in the day, and she is fixated on Ken now, and she wasn't going to stop until she got him back. Okay. And she knew she wasn't going to be able, she didn't have a whole lot of control or choice in getting him back, or getting back together with him while she was in prison, right? Because I mean, it's prison. But she knew when she got out, she was on a mission. And it started all the way back at that very first interview that she did with Nick Viall when they brought up Ken. And she's all, he's sniffing around. There's something about Gypsy, and Ryan talks about this, about what her voice does. She's always going to have a high-pitched voice. That's just her voice. Just like I'm always going to have this voice. Y'all are going to always have your voices, okay? That's not what I'm talking about. But when she is being deceptive in any way, whether she's trying to manipulate and get her own way, whether she is trying to be, a shady boots, whatever it is, her voice goes up to one octave below only dogs can hear. And if you watch her interviews, you will see it happen. It's happened many, 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 many times. So then, right then, I was like, oh, hold the phone. Okay. So then you fast forward to, what is it, episode 5 of Prison, Life After Lockup, Life After Lockup. And she's on the phone. She's on FaceTime with Christy, her stepmother, right? And Christy says, Ken's been talking to me. And the music in the background would imply, and the sort of look on Gypsy's face, we're trying to imply a shock. No. Because you mentioned that all the way back in Nick Viall. So you knew that Christy was in contact with him because Christy tells you. She's been telling you, stop playing with these people. I have a feeling there was a lot of conversation between Christy and Gypsy, which this is super Captain Obvious, that was left on the cutting room floor for various reasons. But I have a feeling that Christy has been behind the scenes meddling. She's like a yenta, trying to matchmake behind the scenes. Okay. And I think that Ryan was always only ever going to be the Nick in this scenario. He was only a means to an end. He looked good on paper. He was stable and a good place to her to parole to, period. That's it. The end. That's how I feel. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Now, the other thing that I will say is, does that mean that just because she used Ryan, does that mean that she didn't have feelings for Ryan? No, I mean, I'm sure she liked him, but she is not in love with him. And she may have what she thinks is love for him, but she was not in love with him. Ken has been her focus from the minute she met him, point blank, period, the end. That's it. So when she saw an opportunity to get away from Ryan, she did. And you can see it in these episodes. You can start to see the shift. You can start to see where she sets up scenarios for there to be an argument and then pretends to act like the argument is bigger than it was. Although we can see the majority of the argument on the show. She also recorded it with her phone, which is odd to me. And then sent it to her sister, whatever. Then you have, so she set up this scenario. All right. So Then finally the announcement comes out, right? Oh, Ken and Gypsy are back together. It's happily ever after. Except for one thing, and I'll touch on that. I know I'll tell you that it's on TikTok, and if you search TikTok, you can find it, but that's as far as I'm going to go with it. She appeared on a TikTok panel. I don't know what they call it on the Tickety Talks. I think in the box. She appeared in somebody else's box with Ken the very first weekend they were together. If you listen to that, Ken and Gypsy are like, oh, no, we're just friends, blah, 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 right? And you can hear Gypsy very faintly because Ken is in front of her. So obviously holding the phone. So the speaker is going to pick up Ken before it picks up Gypsy. She very clearly says, I'm on birth control. Okay. You're on birth control. Okay. So we watch all that happen, right? We watch her, then other things start to come out, right? So before the pregnancy actually was formally announced, what had happened? Well, Instagram happened. So Gypsy went to her Instagram and posted a picture of a positive clear blue pregnancy test, okay? And left it up. And then immediately left it up, but not immediately took it down because people got screenshots. So she left it up probably, long enough for somebody to comment on it. And then whatever happened, she comes back with, guys, my Instagram was hacked. I definitely didn't post that picture. It was hacked. I would never do something like that. I'm not pregnant, blah, 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 blah. Right? Well, I mean, it's not easy to hack somebody's account, for Pete's sake. It's not, okay? It's not. It's her account. Stop playing with these people out here. And this is what I'm irritated about. It would be one thing if Gypsy just announced that she was pregnant, okay? That's one thing. But she's got to play all these games. She's got to do all this extra shit for no reason. And that's why I get irritated with her. So hang on a second. Let's just freaking get into it. Okay. Hold on. Let me go to her dadgum YouTube channel. Give me a second. Let's just go to her YouTube channel. Let's get it straight from the horse's mouth. And that's it's just a saying. I'm not calling her anything. I'm definitely not calling her a horse. Okay? Hold on. Let me add this to the stream already. all she said is, hi, everybody. And I'm already like, ugh. I can't. All right. Here we go. Hi, everybody. And I will be stopping this quite frequently because first and foremost, we got to use fair use over here. And that is how it goes. And we are going to get into all of that. Kathy, let's first discuss the pregnancy, okay? Then we will get into the legalities and the ins and the outs of it. And let me just say this. Listen, I feel the way I feel about Gypsy based on my own experiences, okay? And I want you guys to know that everybody in my chat is free to have whatever opinion they have of Gypsy. Y'all are all entitled to it, and I encourage you to express it. But I would like to remind everybody to respect each other's opinions. You can have a disagreement, you can debate back and forth, but please do not attack one another. Do not be nasty to each other, because I'm just going to say this. At the end of the day, this fool on the screen right here, me and Gypsy, both us fools, but mainly Gypsy, her life is going to carry on regardless of what I say on the internet, what you say on the internet, how we feel, what we think, any of that. She does not give a rat's fat kneecap about what is going on with what we think, how we feel, or how it affects us. She does not care. Okay? At all. She doesn't care. So let's listen to Gypsy announce her happy, joy pregnancy. Here we go.
Hi, everybody. So I know the rumors have been flying around for quite some time now. And
okay, I already have to stop. Yes, Gypsy, the rumors have been flying around for quite some time. Why are you looking off to the side there, sis? They've been flying around for quite some time because why? Because somebody posted a positive pregnancy test on their social media account. Stop playing with these people.
I'm happy to announce that I am 11 weeks pregnant. Ken and I are expecting our very first child come January of 2025. We're both very excited. This was not planned at all. It was completely unexpected.
Okay, we're going to have to stop again. It was not planned at all. It was completely unexpected. Gypsy, you are 33 years old. If you are not on birth control and not using prophylactics for YouTube, what did you expect, ma'am?
But we're both very excited to take on this new journey of parenthood. I have already experienced the symptoms when I first learned that I was pregnant. The first thing that I noticed was the cravings. So I craved orange juice. Orange juice was not something that like I craved on a daily basis before. So when I started craving orange juice, I'm like, okay, well, guess I just want orange juice. I didn't think anything of it. And so.
Okay. Now I'm going to give you guys a little spoiler alert. Hey, I'm Kayleen. All right. I was sent by the lovely Tess Mack. I was sent a YouTube video of another creator who basically does like a body language thing, analysis. He doesn't basically like do it. That's exactly what he does. Okay. And actually, I found it to be very informative. I find everything about this video odd and uncomfortable. And I'm going to tell you why. I've already been experiencing all the symptoms. Okay. I don't even know what that means. Okay. What, you got morning sickness? It's just the way that she delivers it. And I got to say, also, I know her to be a self-professed lying liar face who tells lies, right? So her relationship with the truth isn't the best, okay? And so when she starts talking about stuff like this and explaining how things are and what's going on, I'm always going to side-eye her. I just am. I cannot help it. All right, here we go.
So that was one thing. And then like the next thing that I noticed was like the hunger, like an insatiable hunger to just eat everything. So I really went on a binge and just started eating everything. And then, of course, I missed my period.
Okay, here's another thing that I think is odd. An insatiable hunger. What are you, fucking turning into a vampire? What's happening here? Right? Yes, you are hungry when you're pregnant. That's not a lie. That's true. However, one thing, and I noticed it, and I always like it when I notice things, and then people who have like degrees and certifications and like super higher education, notice the same thing I notice. Okay. I notice that what she doesn't talk about is actually finding out she's pregnant. when you're pregnant for the first time, and I can only go off of my experience, but also other people's experience, my sister's experience, my daughter's experience, other girlfriends of mine, how their reaction when they found out they were pregnant. Now, depending on your age, right, and your situation, your circumstances, the story is a little bit different. For me, I'll tell you mine. I realized that my period was late. I took a pregnancy test. It was positive. I was like, oh hell no, this thing is defective. I went back to the store and took another pregnancy. Came home, took another one. Oh no, this thing is no. There's something is wrong. Let me go to get a third one, and I'm not even going to get the same brand. Something is wrong with this brand. Third pregnancy test positive. Something is wrong. This is not correct. I'm going to the doctor for a blood test, and then and only then did I realize, did I accept that I was pregnant. And I'm not going to lie, for the first whole trimester, even though I had horrible morning, noon, and night sickness, I was walking around in a state of shock that I was pregnant. Okay. That is how I felt, because I was doing things to, it is what it is. But I was 18, I was young, and I was scared. I was not 33. And I also was not trying to get pregnant by Nick, by Ryan, and now by Ken. Okay. So there you go. Whew, here we go. Let me see if I can play it for a little longer without pausing. Okay. I'm going to try. I'm going to exercise restraint.
And I didn't think anything of it because I had seen my OBGYN and I had tested my fertility. And she's like, we're probably going to have to put you on fertility meds, or at least something to make you ovulate, because you're not ovulating on a regular.
Oh, I lied. Okay. So why are you having your fertility tested? See, fertility isn't something, Elena, I'm not anti-Gypsy. I'm pro the truth. I'm anti-bullshit. So whenever anybody is telling me a story and they have a difficult, if Gypsy and the truth had a relationship status, it would be, it's complicated. Okay. Whenever that happens, it is very difficult for me to, I'm going to side eye. I am. That's just how I am. I'm a side eyer if you lie. Once you lie, you become a liar. And then everything you say from that point on is suspect. But I don't understand, if you're not trying to get pregnant, and why are you having your fertility tested? That doesn't make sense. Well, Little Red, she denies that. She denies that she has, she denies that she has that. So again, I don't know. It's just, I'm only going to go off of listen, let me explain about this chromosome disorder and these medical records. Okay. Until I see those medical records myself, and they will like more, if this situation, if this lawsuit between Fancy and Gypsy and her family goes on, the medical records are a huge part of that defamation case, because they're alleging that Fancy lied, and lied maliciously. She lied knowingly and with malicious intent. And so the only way to prove that would be for Gypsy to bust out, this is what Fancy has. This is what this is what these actually say. So until I see some concrete evidence that Gypsy has this chromosomal disorder, I'm not going to even entertain it. She may have it. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But what I am going to entertain is what I can see right in front of my face. And that's what we're going to talk about. I don't understand why. And this is another thing that's not ovulating on the regular, okay, that I have questions about. She's talked about her period while she was in the prison confessions, okay? Never, not once ever did she say, I have troubles with my period. See, this is why I don't believe her. Here we go.
So I'm like, okay. So I had that appointment was like a month out. And so when I missed my period, I thought I was just having issues with ovulation. And it wasn't until I had texted with Ken, and he's like, "Have you taken a pregnancy test?" And I'm like, "No, I don't think I'm pregnant. I don't think it's that." And then I had taken a test, and it turned out positive. And so everything just made sense. But my pregnancy journey so far. So I have experienced crazy mood swings. Like, poor Ken. If he breathes wrong, I am just like, pregnancy is not easy with the mood swings. And he's been very gracious about it. He's been very forgiving about it, but good Lord. We were driving in the car the other day, and this is before I got my hair done, so I did still have brown hair at this time. But I was listening to music, and a song came on the radio, and I just started crying. And I'm like, why am I crying right now? Like, oh my God, this song has never made me so emotional. And it was Let It Go or Let Her Go or something by Passenger.
Oh my God, are you sure it wasn't 303? Don't trust a hoe, never trust a hoe, won't trust, 'cause a hoe won't trust me. Now, if I heard that song and I was in your shoes, I'd be crying too.
Good Lord.
Good Lord.
In tears. I'm like, I cannot listen to this stuff. I can't do it. A lot of the other symptoms that I've been having is mild symptoms, everything that goes with pregnancy. Now, morning sickness, I've been actually very blessed to not have major morning sickness. That's been amazing. So far, pregnancy has been a breeze as far as symptoms.
Hold the phone.
I find like the
Hold the phone. Back the milk truck up. Pregnancy, the symptoms have been a breeze? Girl, didn't you like 2 seconds ago just say that you had an insatiable hunger? The mood swings were, oh my God, like poor Ken, Good Lord. Isn't that what you just said? Did you not just say that? Did she not just say that, you guys? Did I just hear that and make that up in my own brain? Girl. But now all of a sudden it's a breeze. This is where, again, if Gypsy and the Truth had a relationship status, it's complicated because you literally contradicted yourself in that you said one thing and contradicted yourself in the next sentence. So here we go.
The tiredness is starting to wear off a little bit. That was like the biggest symptom that I had saw with me, is that I'm always tired and sleepy. So that's been one thing that I've been dealing with. The rest is completely manageable. Like I said, Ken has been very forgiving to my symptoms.
But
the rest has been a breeze.
Oh, has it? It's all been a breeze, and Ken's been forgiving. Well, y'all bust out. We need to erect a statue. Ken has been forgiving. Girl. See, this is interesting to me. That she is working so very hard to overcome, because let me tell you something. I have to give a shout out really quick. I have to give a shout out to Wolfie, because I can't watch all of the things, but when Wolfie sees stuff, she sends it to me. And I will say that this little moment we're having right here, where Ken is so gracious and all the things, right? This is because old Ryan has been going live on the Ticket to Talks, and she is getting getting all the kudos, and you poor thing, and how could she do that to you, and all the things, right? So conversely, Ken is getting, and there's been some stuff that's come out about Ken. There's been some, I guess, a couple of people, there's been 2 accounts that have come forward who say that Ken is not that Ken has been, how do I put this? Because I really don't, I kind of don't like this, but it's out there. And so I feel like I have to mention it. They have told Gypsy that Ken is on Grindr looking for dates, that he is not straight. Gypsy's response to that was literally a comment where she said, if they only knew about his skill at eating, then she put the cat emoji. It would be all washed, any doubt would be all washed away. And then she put the raindrops emoji. I'm going to leave it at that. Now, Gypsy, didn't we go through this before? Have we not been in this exact same place? Weren't you just 4 or 5 months ago all over social media talking about, y'all can't bring me down. I'm on a high right now, and the tea is fire. Right? And then not last week's episode, but the episode before that, you tell your sister in front of a camera crew, so basically in front of God and everybody, that that Ryan has never how do I put this? Let me think of a clever euphemism. While you were with Ryan or anybody else for that matter, you've never made the O face. Yeah. So perhaps some things are better left unsaid, ma'am. Maybe don't be going on the social medias and telling everybody how wonderful these guys are in bed. And then later, if it doesn't work out, you talk about how terrible they are. And thank you, Abellis, for gifting memberships. I appreciate that. If you guys got a membership, please thank Abellis. I appreciate that so much. That was so generous, Abellis. Thank you very, very much. Okay, here we go.
He looks healthy, happy. It's still going to be a long journey ahead, but I'm up for it. I know that there are going to be people that feel like I'm not ready to be a mother. And I don't know if anyone's really ready to become a mother. I don't know anybody that said, okay, I'm ready. I'm doing this,
Lots of people have. Okay. Also, I would think that maybe a good step to preparing for motherhood would, I don't know, maybe be divorced. I'm just saying. Just some I'm not judging. These are suggestions.
I think in my experience, everybody that I've ever talked to, they're like, it just happened. And so I feel a shift in myself. When I found out that I was pregnant, none of anything else mattered. The drama on social media, the feud between creator and me and all of that drama just all faded. It didn't matter anymore. All that matters is making sure that I'm healthy, the baby's healthy, my relationship with Ken is healthy, and we are moving forward in a positive way. It's an amazing feeling when your whole world shifts. And suddenly it's not about you. It's not about anything other than the tiny little life that's inside you that you are now in charge of protecting. And that little tiny life is a baby, a little tiny human that's yours, and that you have to make sure that you protect, you love, you take care of, and all of the things that I wished I could have had when I was little. Here I am getting emotional, guys. Sorry.
Okay. all the things that she said right there, that is true. When you become pregnant, it's no longer about you first. It's about the baby first, especially, you have to take care of yourself so that you can, in turn, you're taking care of the baby while you're pregnant. All those things are important. She's not wrong about those things. I believe that she does feel that way. Here is what concerns me. It's that last sentence. All the things that I didn't have growing up. And this is why I'm concerned. Okay? Because when MK Lynn, thank you. MK gifted 5 memberships. You guys, if you got a membership from MK, please thank him. You guys are so generous, and I just appreciate you so much. Thank you, MK. And I'm extra glad. I'm always glad you're here, but I'm extra glad today because if you hang out to the end, that thing that I was working on, I'm going to show it, and I want you to see it. Okay, so thank you very much, you guys. Thank you, MK, and please, you guys, thank MK if you got a membership. All right, so here, let me focus. This is where I'm concerned. So when you go back and you look at the familial history on her mother's side, the way that her aunts and uncles describe her grandmother, Emma Petrie, not the woman that we saw on the documentaries. When the documentaries came out, Emma had passed away long before that. Essentially, Emma was a little bit of a smother, as it were. And I think that Gypsy, or when that is the example of motherhood that Dee Dee was raised. That's what she knew motherhood to be. And I think that that's how it started out with Dee Dee when she had Gypsy, that she was constantly worried. She was a smother, and it turned into something different. But my concern for Gypsy is this. If she doesn't work incredibly hard to recognize the cycle and break the cycle will repeat. And there are things that Gypsy says, and there are things that Gypsy does that makes it seem as if she's, sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops, which is incredibly unrealistic. Everybody knows that life isn't like that. And so when you do that, Gypsy, if you're listening to me or somebody tells you to come listen to me, because we do know some of the same people, I'm going to leave it at that. My advice to you as a mother, I've had 4 children. I've raised 4 children. My advice to you as a first-time mom is you need to figure out what went wrong, how it impacted you then and now, like all throughout your life, and make a very, very conscious effort to break that cycle. And it's not like you can say, I'm not going to do what my mom did, or I'm not going to do what my dad did. I'm going to break the cycle. That's not enough. You actually have to do the work. You have to work at it constantly. And I'm very concerned about that. So let's just keep going, because otherwise I can't handle this pause game is too much. Jen.
All the things that I wanted in a mother, I want to give to this baby. Knowing that I am a mother now, and I'm happy, and I just want to be a good mother for my child. I want to be everything my mother wasn't. Ken and I had a wonderful talk about the future for him and I. And we both agree that we both grew up in broken homes. I grew up without a father pretty much. And he grew up in a family where, his parents got divorced. And I think we both agree that neither one of us wants our child to be in that kind of a situation. With that being said, it doesn't matter what we go through, him and I. Whatever we face, we'll face it together. Because we have a baby now. We have something that's bigger than either one of us. So whatever comes our way, whatever arguments we have, whatever drama gets thrown at us on social media, we're going to stick together. We're not breaking because we are a family now. And as unconventional as this relationship and this child may have came from.
Okay. Gypsy, you're at a 10 on the dramatics. I'm going to need you to dial it way, way, way back. Okay. People have children out of wedlock every single day. It ain't that big of a deal. This is not why people are concerned. This is not why people are worried. This is not why people feel some type of way. Okay. The fact of the matter is, it's real simple for you to avoid the drama on social media. Do what you told your dad you were going to do. Stay off of it. How about that? But you're not. This is why I'm concerned. Oh my God, MK, I can't highlight that, but yes, that's exactly how I feel. Okay. The MK, yes, I rolled my eyes so hard I saw MK's ass. This is extra just to be extra and for no reason. And it really comes across disingenuous and fake. It really does. And the fact of the matter is, this is where people are concerned, Gypsy, because if you wanted it to be just about you, Ryan, and this baby, you would not have announced it on your own YouTube channel and then done the press tour, Good Morning America, and on top of that, made a public baby registry. Okay, so you need to figure out what you're gonna do. Either it's gonna be the three of you, and you're gonna work on your little family, or it's gonna be the three of you and the internet. Okay, because you're not convincing me that you're not all the drama on the majority of the drama that is on social media is drama that you have caused. Rage and regret, lady. Ugh. And stop acting like you're doing some novel thing. Look, lady, I hate to break it to you, but people get knocked up out of wedlock all the time, every day. You're not doing it, stop it. You're not like a pioneer. Girl.
I couldn't be happier. And this is a blessing. I found my freedom in a way that I never expected. And I'm okay with that. Everything that has ever happened to me in my life suddenly doesn't matter. Because
It does
It all
matter.
led me to be who I am today. And it all led me to this moment right here, right now.
Look at here, lady. Now I understand that you're in therapy right now. I am not a therapist, okay, but I can't imagine that any therapist would tell you what happened to you doesn't matter. Like, it's one thing to say, I can overcome what happened to me because everything that happened to me led me to this moment. But you have to acknowledge what you say, whatever it was. And only you know what the truth of it is, really. So if you, it doesn't, the only person you really should be honest with is yourself. So at the end of the day, you better figure out what it is that happened to you, right? The truth of it. Be honest with yourself and work on it for that baby's sake. Lady led me to this moment right here. Bruh. Listen, if this was Star Wars, I'd be over here like Admiral Akbar talking about it's a trap. You trapped this man, but whatever. I hope it works out.
And that's a blessing. To say that I made it. That's a success story.
Okay. Thank you for that. I mean, okay. So I got to say this. I got to answer this. Jennifer, her voice isn't fake. That is her voice. But what she does is she turns up the she turns up the pitch of her voice to just 1 decibel below what only dogs can hear when she's lying and being manipulative. That's the truth. So yeah, I think that listen, I don't want anything bad for Gypsy's baby. I want that baby to be born happy, healthy, and ideally to a mom who is cognizant of her issues and is actively working on them. That is what I want. Yeah. That's what I would like for her ideally. Now we're on to the subject of, and this is a tricky one, of paternity. So Gypsy made a post explaining the timeline of the last time that she and Ryan were intimate, which would have been at around March 23rd. That's when she left him. Okay. She allegedly got her period April 17th, which, by the way, if you're, this is another question I have, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to let it go. It's not really worth talking about, honestly. It's one of those things that she says that doesn't make sense. Women who are irregular, it would make sense that they don't know when they are going to get their period. So it would be something that they're not actively keeping track of, because what would be the point? It's difficult to keep track of something that's completely irregular, but whatever. But she seemingly knows exactly when she got her period. And apparently she was intimate with Ken at the end of April and conceived on May the 4th. Now, that is math that has to do with, it's based on 40 weeks of pregnancy. They actually put your conception date. It is what it is. At the end of the day, what I will say is this. This is what she is facing because she is married. Okay. These are the legalities of the marriage. Okay. Please hold. So the paternity laws in Louisiana are this. In Louisiana, a man is presumed to be the father of a child if he is married to the child's mother at the time of the child's birth or within 300 days before the child's birth. A man may also be presumed to be the father of the child if it is within 300 days after the judgment of divorce. So, what will have to happen is this. Gypsy is still married. And even if she were to be granted the divorce, let's see, August, September, October, November, December, January, 6 months, 6 times 30 is 180, right? Yeah, still shy. Even if she were granted the divorce Monday, still, he would be presumed, Ryan would be presumed to be the father. Each state does it a little bit differently, which is why I went and looked up specifically what the deal is with Louisiana. Louisiana is not the only state like that. Ken would actually have to go to court to establish paternity. So this is a hectic way for this little youngster to get their start because, there's going to be some red tape that they're going to have to go through. And what's going to happen, what will happen if Gypsy isn't telling the truth and she's fudged the dates and the baby ends up being Ryan's? What then? So it's a mess. It's a mess. And I just wish that Gypsy would get off social media completely. Seriously, just completely get off of it. I don't need to know anything more about your pregnancy. I don't need to know anything more about the paternity. None of that needs to be public. Get off the internet. For real. For real. Just get off the internet. But you won't. And I'm very concerned because she's already doing it now. She's already using the child just the way that her mother used her. It's sad. And that's one of the cycles that she's repeating. Instead of keeping it private, look, Ken isn't a felon. He's was working and supporting himself prior to all of this, getting to, y'all being reunited and it feels so good. Ugh, gross. Anywho, I don't know why that song came in my brain. Sometimes this brain of mine. Anywho, why you don't need, you've got a trust fund. You don't need to continue to do these shows. Why don't you wait until after the baby is born? Wait until you get adjusted to being a mom. Do something. Make a change. If you don't want things to be the same, then try doing something different. All right. Well, that's kind of all I had for you guys tonight. I thought about going in a little harder on her. I did have some harsher things to say. However, it's not really necessary. It's not really appropriate. And I'm not going to be so, okay, Darlene, here's the deal with that. When Gypsy, when she was locked up, people were sending her money. She actually had so much money that she exceeded the amount of money that you can have on your books at any given time. And that money was put back for her. When shows like any of the, I don't know which show other than Mommy, Dead and Dearest, they were paid an honorarium for that. And so that money would have been put into a trust. She talks about this trust, this money that she had getting out in a letter that she wrote to somebody on YouTube, or who she wrote to somebody who then put it on YouTube. And so she does have money set aside. So, it is what it is. I don't know how much it is. It's not my business. It is, but I don't know very many people who walk out of prison who can afford to get their, to get rhinoplasty, she's not like motivated to get a job. Like usually when you parole, one of the requirements is that you have a job. You see her being motivated to work. No, because she's not hurting for money. She's not hurting for anything, So, Mayla's mom, no problem, babe. You're welcome. Mayla's mom says, Jinlu, thank you again for allowing a safe space for people to have very strong differing opinions. We may not agree here, but you don't treat me any different because of it. No, and I never will. Listen, Mayla's mom and I agree on a lot of other cases, but this one, we are fundamentally diametrically opposed. We are completely, although I'm not like anti-Gypsy. I am not beat for the bullshit. And so when I see bullshit, I just call it out. And I am very, well, y'all know my brand. I'm blunt and I just say it how it is. I could be more blunt. I could be harsher. I don't want to be. I don't like that. It doesn't make me feel good to be that way. I do exercise quite a bit of restraint, and I do recognize that however you slice it, at the end of the day with Gypsy, the way that she was brought up was detrimental. If you're brought up, because she certainly couldn't have been complicit lying, when she was a child. You do what your parent tells you to do. When she got older, she could have, and I do believe this, and I do believe that she knew this. I do believe that she could have made different choices, but she didn't. And there's nothing that I can do about that. There's whatever. But I feel like she doesn't. I take that into consideration. However, she's 33 now. If she'd have been paroled at, say, if she'd have committed this crime at 18, and we were seeing her coming out and, she's 26 years old, then I can, but I did have patience and I did have hope for Gypsy. I really thought, okay, she's given a tremendous opportunity. Let's see what she does with it. And what she's chosen to do with it is go on TikTok, go on, other social media accounts and say, do you even have a man? My man wouldn't touch you with the 10-foot pole. Okay, Gypsy, it's 2024, babe. Women are not defined by their ability to get a man. Listen, I love men. They're a lot of fun, okay? But let's be realistic here, ladies. Men are like buses. Another one will be along in 10 minutes. That doesn't define you as a woman, whether you have a man or not, period, Gypsy. And it's an insult to us women when you talk like that. It's very backwards ass thinking, lady. You can want a man. You can be excited for a man. That's cool. Okay? But it's not some big ass huge accomplishment. Okay? It's not like you won the Nobel Prize. It's not like that's the same thing. I won the Nobel Prize. I got a man. They're not equal. Come on. It's ridiculous. Over her shit, man, with that. And that's the kind of crap that she's been doing. And now she wants to dial it back. And this is the thing. This is what irritates me about Gypsy and the social media situation with Flawless Nina. I don't know Flawless Nina at all. I don't know who she is. I mean, I know who she is, but I don't know her like that. I don't know her on a personal level. I've never spoken with her. I've seen her content. But I remember back when Gypsy first got out in the early days, she was telling Flawless Nina things. And then all of a sudden she switched it up. And now Flawless Nina is the devil. That's the dirty games that Gypsy plays, and that's the kind of shit that I don't have patience for. Okay, that's the kind of stuff that shows me that she's not really changing, that she's, cool, that it's fine with her the way she is. I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. Also, when you went on that little rant, by the way, Gypsy, I don't know if anybody's called you out, but I noticed it. When you're wearing that little nightie that Ryan gave you while you were all hugged up and laid up with Ken, girl, it's ridiculous. Okay? You're not on any kind of high horse, lady. And I'm not going to, listen, I'm not even upset. I don't care that she left Ryan. Like, it is what it is. Right? I don't have any ties to Ryan. I don't know that man. It's the way she did it. She did it dirty, and then she went live, and then she tried to, make him like a creeper and a hoarder and all the other stuff and say, I have OCD. Gypsy, let me just say this for the last time, and then I'm going to play the outro for you guys. Nobody who actually has OCD and wants to not be a hoarder would have laid around in that apartment with the kitchen the way that it did. Now, all you did was take some stuff from the refrigerator and put it into trash bags. That is not cleaning, ma'am. That's not, you didn't do anything with those Tupperware. They sat with food residue in a sink all day long until Ryan came home to wash them. I don't listen, whatever y'all's household duties are, that's between y'all. But nobody who has OCD about cleaning would ever be able to leave that like that, nor would they be able to leave full ass contractor bags in the kitchen full of whatever, the dirty pillows, just trash. Okay. Stop playing with these people out here, Gypsy. And thank you, Alice. I appreciate that, babe. Thank you so much. I just feel this look, Gypsy, let me give you some advice, okay? Especially if you're going to be over here on these YouTube streets. YouTube is cutthroat, ma'am. And you can't, it's not the same as the Tickety Talks, right? Where you go live, and if somebody didn't catch your live or screen record your live, it's done, gone, poof, like it never even happened. No, that is not how it works over here on these YouTube streets. And it would behoove you, ma'am, to stop painting a picture of sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops and just be yourself. Okay? Be your authentic self. Stop playing with these people out here. Stop trying to act like you care about the house being clean. I saw that laundry that you pulled out of that basket to fold had been sitting in that basket for quite some time, ma'am. It was all the way wrinkled. You got my OCD working, okay? Girl. Anywho, she is not ready for YouTube. Wait. Till one of these clip channels gets a hold of her ass. Just wait. And let me just remind you of this also, Gypsy, with the internet. When you put the internet remains undefeated. Okay? Remember how all those memes came out about, and they had Ryan and your mom side by side? Remember those? Just letting you know. The internet remains undefeated. And you are incredibly, you're a little bit of a lolcow, and you're also you're just a meme sometimes. Some of the stuff that you do is just meme worthy. So you might want to just be cognizant of that. And I'm going to leave it there. All right, you guys. I'm going to let you go, but before I let you guys go, I want to play you this outro that I've been working on. Let me know what you think. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate your support so very much. If you haven't done so, hey, Give your girl a thumbs up. Hell, give me a thumbs down. It's all interaction. YouTube doesn't care. I always wonder, I can see in my backstage that I always have 99% thumbs up, which means one person, I guess, is thumbing it down. And I'm just so curious who that one person is. I just am curious. All right. It doesn't impact me one way or another. I just find it interesting that there's always that one. All right, you guys, here we go. And I'll be back tomorrow. I just don't know what I'll be back tomorrow night with. Okay, bye.
Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do. Well, fuck you.
No malicious contempt or effort was towards it.
No militia.
Pity time.
Minutes later.
We all do a little mad sometimes.
Man!
All right, so there you guys go. That's the end of it. Oh, before I forget, I forgot to tell you guys, go look, if you're a member, go look at your membership name, your level. I changed the names of the levels. We have Kookaloo's, Maniac, Lunatic, Psychopath. And then I changed the badges. So when you first become a member, it's like I think it's temporary hold. And then after, I can't remember what I changed it to, you get permanent resident or something like that. I forgot what I wrote. But anyway, it's new and I changed it for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Oh, did you like it? I'm glad you guys liked it. I'm glad you liked it, MK Lynn. I do be loving me some smoked out. All right, you guys, I'll see you all tomorrow. I think I'm going to talk about Sarah Boone because we have some things to talk about with old Boone too, y'all. All right, have a great rest of your Saturday. Thank you, everybody, and good night.